there is a remarkable creature beneath. Our feet a tiny being, so small that it often goes unnoticed. Yet it holds truths large enough to reshape the way we live, pursue goals, and confront challenges. That creature is the ant. At first glance, an ant seems insignificant. It weighs no more than a grain of sand. Yet within the heart of its small body lies a wisdom as powerful as the tallest mountain. If we pause, observe, and reflect on the life of an ant, we find lessons that speak to the deepest yearnings of the human soul. Purpose, perseverance, discipline, resilience, cooperation, and humility. Today, I invite you to journey into the world of the ant. Not to romanticize the tiny insect, but to uncover the profound truths that it embodies. 1. The ant knows its purpose. Ants carry burdens many times heavier than their own, but they don't stumble under the weight because they do not question their purpose. Every ant is driven by a role within the colony, a role that serves the greater whole. Imagine waking each day with the clarity of purpose that drives you forward without hesitation. We often ask, what is my purpose? Yet the ant simply does carrion, building, gathering, listen. Purpose doesn't come from wishful thinking, it is forged through consistent action. Purpose is not waiting to be discovered in some distant future. It is cultivated in the disciplines of today. Every grain of sand the ant carries contributes to the strength of the colony's home. Likewise, every intentional step you take, no matter how small, builds the architecture of your dreams. 2. The ant teaches relentless work ethic. Ants work. They work tirelessly. They work in discomfort. They work when the winds howl. They work when the rains fall. There is no complaining, no procrastination, no demand for immediate rewards. We live in a world obsessed with shortcuts, instant gratification, and effortless success. But the ant reminds us that meaningful achievement requires meaningful effort. A powerful truth. You cannot harvest greatness without first sowing hard work. Hard work is not punishment, it is preparation. The ant does not work because it enjoys struggle, it works because it understands that success is a byproduct of unwavering effort. Ask yourself, are you willing to do the work others avoid? Are you willing to labor when no one is watching? Are you willing to persist when the reward feels distant? If your answer is yes, then you are ready to rise. 3. The ant shows the strength in small steps. One ant cannot carry a huge object alone, but many ants cooperating can accomplish the extraordinary. This is not only a lesson in teamwork, it is a lesson in consistency. Every ant's step may be tiny, but each step brings it closer to its goal. You may feel small at times, insignificant in a world of giants. But remember, even the smallest actions, repeated daily, lead to mighty outcomes. Consider a bamboo tree. In its first year, it shows no visible growth. In the second year, nothing. Third year, still nothing. But underground, its roots are expanding, strengthening, preparing. Then, suddenly, in the 5th year, it shoots up over 80 feet, seemingly overnight. This is the ant's wisdom. Great growth is the result of quiet consistency. You may not see immediate results, but every purposeful step matters. 4. The ant embodies resilience. Storms do not stop ants. Obstacles do not deter them. The path may shift, the terrain may change, but the ant adapts, recalibrates, and keeps moving. Life will test you. Challenges will emerge, often uninvited. And when they do, your resilience, your capacity to endure, adjust, and persist becomes your greatest asset. The ant does not collapse when the route is blocked. It simply finds another way when you face setbacks. Remember, failure is not final. Temporary defeat is not permanent. What matters is how you respond. Stand up, Adjust your stance. Rechart your course. Forge ahead. You are stronger than your struggles. 5. The ant lives with discipline. Ants operate with precision. They follow patterns that maximize efficiency. They don't waste energy on aimless wandering or vain pursuits. In our lives, we too need discipline. The ability to choose what matters most and to act upon it consistently. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. Without discipline, plans remain dreams. Potential remains unrealized. Talent remains dormant. But with discipline, dreams become reality. Goals become achievements. Effort becomes success. Discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. It frees you from chaos, distraction, and regret. When you discipline your mind, your actions align with your aspirations. You may not control every circumstance, but you can control your response. 6. The ant knows the power of teamwork. No ant survives alone. The colony thrives through cooperation. Each ant performs a role, supports others, and works for a shared purpose. In life, we are not meant to isolate ourselves. We are meant to connect, to learn from others, and to build together. No one climbs the mountain of success entirely alone. We rely on mentors, friends, family, teachers, guides, and sometimes even strangers who show kindness when we need it most. Greatness is rarely singular. It is collective. Your success does not diminish others. When shared, it multiplies joy and impact. Look around you. Who can you walk with? Who can you support? Who can you learn from? Strengthen your colony, and you will go further than you ever thought possible. 7. The ant is humble. Ants do not boast. They simply do. They do not seek praise for every task. Their value is not validated by applause. They work because work is their nature. Humility is a strength that the ant models without words. In a world where so many chase recognition, likes, awards, and approval, the ant reminds us, true worth lies in substance, not in show. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. Humility allows you to learn without ego, grow without comparison, serve without expectation. When you pursue excellence with humility, your impact deepens and your influence becomes authentic. 8. The ant lives with patience. Ants do not rush the journey. They take steady steps. They understand that haste can lead to mistakes. Our lives are often plagued by impatience. We want results yesterday. We want validation now. We want instant transformation. But true success, the kind that endures, cannot be rushed. It unfolds through patience, persistence, endurance, and trust in the process. Patience is not waiting idly. Patience is waiting with purpose. You continue to put in the effort, day after day, even when the world feels slow and the change seems distant. Great things take time. The ant never stops moving. 9. The ant teaches us to prepare. Ants work diligently to gather food for the seasons ahead. They store more than they need today because they understand tomorrow can be uncertain. We too must plan for health, for finances, for relationships, for personal growth, for inevitable changes in life. Preparation is not worried, it is wisdom. When you prepare, you honor your future self. When you neglect preparation, stress becomes your constant companion. Wisdom begins with foresight. 10. The ant leaves us with this final truth. Small things carry great weight. Ants carry objects many times heavier than themselves, not because they are mighty alone, but because they are consistent, focused, and determined. Your life is like that burden, sometimes heavy, often challenging, but always meaningful when carried with commitment. You may be small in a vast world. You may be one among many. You may feel unnoticed at times, but your actions matter. Your persistence matters. Your consistency matters. Your growth matters. Your life, like the ant's work, leaves an imprint. The smallest efforts, compounded over time, lead to remarkable achievement. The greatness of the ant is not in its size, but in its spirit. Closing invocation. So today, rise with the heart of an ant. Work with intention. Persist with resilience. Serve with humility. Build with discipline. Move with patience. And never underestimate the power of consistent effort. For the wisdom of the ant is not just about survival, it is about triumph. And may your journey, though it may seem small at times, carry enormous weight in the story you are creating.